Hello, Monetization Nation. Today, I'm going to talk about split testing life, or AKA, how to fail successfully. So, those of us who are digital marketers love the concept of split testing. The concept of split testing is to try several different things and figure out which one does the best and do more of that, figure out which one does the worst and turn those off, and then create variations of the thing that does the best and repeat that split testing process so we can find more variations of what's working best. And as we continue to iterate and split test, we can get better and better advertisements or better and better landing pages. It's a formula that helps us to get much more successful in our digital marketing efforts. What I want to talk about today is the concept of split testing our businesses or split testing our lives. I remember, 12 or 15 years ago, I was leaving for work one day, and I thoughtlessly asked my wife what she was doing that day. And she had something very important going that day. And she had told me what was going on that day, but as I was leaving for work, I wasn't thinking about it. And to her, as I asked her how her day was and didn't remember what she had going on, it was very hurtful to her, and it caused some marital discord for us. And it was my fault, completely my fault. She had every reason to be frustrated with me. And I learned from that failure that I need to ask her about what she's doing that day, specifically what she's already told me, and not ask her how her day is going when she has already told me. That's split testing in life. It's a failure that I had, and I learned how to act differently the next time. So when we split test and have a failure, right, we need to learn from it and not do it again. When we have a split test and it goes well, we need to learn from it and do more of it. A lot of times people are afraid of failure. They're afraid to try because they're afraid they may fail. They're afraid to start a business because they're afraid they may fail. They're afraid to try a new division of their company because it may fail, right? And the fear of failure can be extremely paralyzing. Kevin Worthland said, "We will all fail more than once every day. Failure is part of our life. Failure is part of our business. To not act because of a fear of failure will ensure that we will never succeed, because we have to be able to learn from that failure to be able to achieve that success." Kevin Worthland continued, quote, "There's a difference between failing, even repeatedly, and being a failure. Failure is an inevitable part of the quest, and our quest for perfection, how we respond when we fail, will ultimately determine how well we will succeed," unquote. So in our lives and as entrepreneurs, we're all going to fail hundreds and thousands of times. The issue is whether or not we learn from our failure and use those to propel us to success. Psychology Today posted an interesting article in which they talked about a study where people kicked an American football over a goalpost on an unmarked football field. Each kicker estimated how far and high the goalpost was, and they found that the people who failed estimated that the goalpost was further away and higher than those who succeeded. So what do we learn from this? I think that this study shows how failure can distort our perceptions to make our goals seem harder than they actually are. However, if we can change our mindset on how we view failure and maybe even see it as a learning opportunity, as a step towards our success, we may find we have more confidence and motivation to continue to pursue our goal rather than give up. So the founder of Kissmetrics, named Hiten Shah, spent over $1 million on a company that never ended up launching. He said that, quote, "We were perfectionists, so we built the best thing we could without even understanding what our customers cared about. This is a classic mistake, building what you want to build and then trying to go find customers for it instead of finding your customer first and building what they want. He said, they chose to learn from this experience rather than failing. We now have learned to spend smart, optimize for learning, and focus on customer delight, unquote. Since this experience, Shah has co-founded 2 successful companies, Kissmetrics and Crazy Egg, which we've used as a company. And the source for that story is Buffer. So when you think of successful people today, what are some of the first names that come to your mind? And I think a lot of people would say Elon Musk. He's become one of the wealthiest people in the world. And even Elon Musk has had a career filled with failures. Failing does not make us failures, but giving up does. Elon Musk helped found PayPal, where the company's first product was rated as one of the top 10 worst business ideas. However, that public failure didn't stop Elon Musk. PayPal later became one of the most successful companies, and he sold it and used those funds to propel his successful ventures he's known for today. When Musk moved into SpaceX, he had 3 rockets literally blow up in his face. Big time failure. SpaceX was on the verge of bankruptcy, and it may have appeared to everyone else that he had failed, but he hadn't, because he hadn't given up. Tesla Motors also experienced failure. In 2014, 3 of the Model S cars self-combusted in 6 weeks because of battery fault. In March of 2018, Musk had to recall 123,000 Model S vehicles because of a fault in the power steering components. Yet, even with these failures, we consider Musk successful. Why? Because he never gave up. He continued to persist towards success. He kept going. And now Tesla Motors is one of the world's most famous automotive and energy brands with a value of $650 billion. And the source for that is CEO Today. So my point for today is that failing does not make us failures. When we hide from the possibility of failure, we will sabotage ourselves and prevent ourselves from achieving success. And when we learn from our failures and we use that to grow, it's an essential element of achieving our success. So failing does not make us failures. Let's just not give up. Let's keep going. Let's learn from it, and let us be propelled to our success because of those failures. Thanks for joining me today for this episode. I wish you success in your failing and learning. And if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to download my ebook about passion marketing so you can become a top priority of your ideal customers at passionmarketing.com. I also encourage you to subscribe to the Monetization Nation podcast on your favorite podcast platform on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a great day.